Hi, my name is Brad Laird. In this video lesson, you'll learn the basic information you need to start playing the mandolin. I'll cover the parts of the instrument, the terminology, and some other things which will make learning easier. First, let me point out the important parts of the mandolin. Beginning here, we have the peg head and the tuning machines. The peg head is the upper part of the neck, which runs down to the body of the mandolin. The body is basically a hollow wooden box which amplifies the sounds of the vibrating strings. The strings are attached at the tailpiece. They travel up over the bridge, along the length of the neck, and over this little white piece of bone called the nut, and then are wound around the tuning machine posts. The neck has a flat surface, usually made of rosewood or ebony, called the fingerboard. Embedded at precise intervals along the fingerboard are little metal bars called the frets. The frets are numbered beginning at the end nearest the nut. This is the first fret, this is the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, and so on. When you press a string down so that it makes contact with one of the frets, the string is effectively shortened, which causes the string to make a higher sounding note. Here I'm playing a string at the first fret, now the second fret, and now the third fret. You can hear that the note gets higher in pitch each time I move my finger to a higher fret. Sometimes you will play strings without fretting them with the left hand. When you don't use your left hand to fret a note but allow the entire string to vibrate, this is called playing an open string. So we either play open strings or fretted strings. There are 8 strings on a mandolin. They are arranged in pairs, but we always treat the 2 strings as if they were one. Both strings in each pair are tuned to the same musical pitch. Don't worry about the details of tuning yet. In the next video lesson, I'll show you how to tune. The lowest sounding pair, sometimes called the 4th string, is the G string. Both of these strings are tuned to a G note. The next pair over, going closer to the floor, is called the 3rd string or the D string. They are both tuned to a D note. As we move closer to the floor, the strings are tuned to higher and higher sounding notes. The next pair is called the 2nd string or the A string. And finally we have the pair closest to the floor, which is called the 1st string or the E string. It makes sense to go ahead and memorize the names of each string. The lowest sounding string is the G string, then the D string, then the A, then the E. G, D, A, E. You might remember it easier by repeating the phrase, "Great Danes are enormous." Just picture a giant dog and think G, D, A, E. It's a good idea to use a strap so the mandolin is nice and steady as you play. The type of mandolin I'm playing is called an F style, and it's very easy to attach one end of the strap to the scroll. This provides a very balanced location for the strap. If your mandolin has a pear-shaped body without this scroll, you will need to tie your strap somewhere around the peg head. All mandolins have a little button called the end pin on the end of the instrument near the tailpiece. You can easily attach your strap to this button. Using a strap is very important whether you're playing standing up or sitting down. With a secure strap in place, you'll be free to play better because you won't have to hold the neck up with your left hand, and you won't have to worry about dropping the mandolin. You should try to keep the mandolin in an upright position with the neck slanting up at an angle of about 30 degrees. Don't tilt the instrument back so you can see easier, because it will be more difficult for your left hand to play. We'll talk more about the use of the pick in another video lesson, but for the moment you should hold your right hand upright as if you were going to shake hands with someone. Then curl the fingers until the first finger touches the underside of the thumb. Next, take the pick in your left hand and slip it in between the thumb and first finger. I personally use a teardrop-shaped pick, and I play using one of the round corners. Some people like to use the pointed end. Either way, you should have about 1/4 of an inch of the pick extending past the side of the thumb and the forefinger. We'll get into more details about all this as we progress through these video lessons. Your right arm will rest lightly on the edge of the mandolin body so that your pick can strum across the strings about halfway between the end of the fingerboard and the bridge. Well, that's it for this video about mandolin basics. Be sure to download the other mandolin lessons on this website. It will also be very helpful if you take a look at the Watch and Learn Mandolin Primer. The book and the DVD are both available on this website. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.